Hey guys, it's me and my sidekick again, Evelyn. She makes this more fun to watch, I'm sure. So anyway, before I get into my favorite way to meal prep, I wanted to share with you guys a little bit more about my story, as I said I would, my health journey and what really brought me to this point. Because I have to admit, we did not always eat this healthy. In fact, a good friend of mine, we were neighbors many years ago, she recently reminded me how unhealthy we used to eat. So there is hope for all of us. And it really starts with simple changes. You know what? I don't want you to go home and after learning some things, if this inspires you to make some changes in your health, that's awesome. What I don't recommend is going home and completely throwing everything out in your pantry and getting your family in an uproar. So, you know, things that we can really stick with is, the way to stick with something is really to start with one simple change at a time, get it implemented, and I'll tell you that first major one simple change for me happened about 8 years ago. I knew at the time that nutrition was important, but I seriously had no clue just how important it was. The connection between nutrition and disease, and, you know. Okay, so getting back to what I was sharing with you. This is why I love this so much. I love what I do is because I can do this with my family, right? You got to be flexible with these little ones running around. So anyway, what I was saying was, you know, and I'm so grateful that I realized the connection really between nutrition and disease, because that gave me hope. My husband lost both of his parents to cancer at a really young age, and I saw what that put their family through. And my family is prone to heart disease. We almost lost my dad to a heart attack not too many years ago. And so I was really grateful to know I didn't want to see other people have to go through what we went through. If I could prevent even one family from doing that, from having to go through that, that's amazing. And so that's really why I've become this mom on a mission to inspire others to live healthy. And I was also so grateful that I learned about a way to really flood our bodies with good nutrition on a daily basis, 30 to 45 different plant foods in a variety that there's no way that we could do that on our own. And so to know that my family gets that in, no matter what kind of a day we have, I mean, that's huge to me. That is peace of mind. It is our nutrition insurance policy. And you know, I can't ask for anything better than that. And that really was the catalyst. I had no clue when we started that with Juice Plus. I had no clue what that would lead to, and all these other healthy lifestyle changes that have occurred since then. And we feel better than we've ever felt. You know, we're approaching 40, and I don't feel like we look like it or feel like it, which is awesome. And a lot of that is because, you know, we're taking care of our bodies from the inside out, which is really the way we should do it. I mean, God designed these bodies, and He created the food on the earth for us to partake of, and if we fuel them right and treat them right, they will take good care of us, right? So anyway, that is my story. And all right, let's move on to my favorite way to meal prep. I'm back, and I'm excited to tell you about one of my most favorite ways to make meal prepping super easy and fun, and that is through doing salad jar parties. Whoever came up with the concept of salad jars, I will forever thank you. These things are amazing, and Heather did a great job actually of showing you how to assemble one, so I don't really need to do that for you, but I will show you some that I just made actually today, and these are one of my favorite kinds, and I guess Greek is kind of a theme here, but I love Greek chicken salad. That's one of my favorite recipes that we have that we use often in our meal prep or salad jar parties that we like to host, and we do those about every 3 to 4 weeks here in our community. It's something I started about a year ago. I was trying to be eating healthier. In fact, I was just starting out and trying this program called Transform 30, which, you know, we're trying to cram in a lot of good wholesome food and cut out the bad for a time and really stick with some good healthy habits to help cleanse and detox and just feel amazing and feel better, which it certainly has helped me to do. But of course, I wanted a simple way to keep up on top of that. I mean, it's so hard, right? Well, it can be, I should say, so hard to consistently eat right and healthy. And so anything we can do to cut corners with that and get some pre-prep in, that's when I started to think, I want to start doing these salad jar parties. I'll bet there's some other people out there that want to get healthy too. This was around the new year, actually. And so I figured other people had New Year's resolutions. Why don't we do this together and cut the prep time, split it between each other. We can come together, prep our salad jars. It was super fun just to be able to socialize with all these people. And I'll tell you what, I've made a lot of good friends along the way. I met a lot of people in my community I didn't know because my friends that came would tell their friends to come next time. And so it's been a lot of fun. So what I'm going to do, and I'll show you some video from one of our salad jar parties so that you can see it in action. A lot of fun. But I'm just going to kind of give you the 101 on how to host your own salad jar party. Okay, so first of all, obviously you want to get some friends who want to do it with you. Find out who wants to do it with you. And then you're going to want to start with about 4 to 6 different recipes. Now, actually, let me back up and say there are different ways to host a salad jar party. Okay, you know, some people really like to keep it simple, and you know, it's say everybody bring your own like 2 to 3 favorite toppings and bring a couple of cups each, all prepped and ready to go. And then they all bring their toppings. You've got this big display, and you can go through and build your own salads however you want to. And then they can have dressings there if you want, or just add your own when you get home. It's up to you. What we like to do, in fact, I've offered that option to my friends, and they say, no, we like this the way that we're doing it. What we like to do is have specific recipes so that we all go away with, you know, new ideas, a variety that we know we're not gonna get sick of the same old thing. And then of course we don't have a bunch of extra leftover ingredients because we brought exactly what we needed. So that's what we do, is we plan, which takes a little bit more planning, but we'll do about 4 to 6 recipes, and then I let everybody decide if they're gonna make 1 jar of each of those or if they're gonna make 2 jars of each of those. Some women really, their husbands are totally into these salad jars too, and they want them, so they will make enough that they can take them to work with them as well, which is really fun. So once you've done that, then you calculate, right? Obviously you're gonna need so many tomatoes and so many carrots and so much lettuce and all this to go into these different salads. So there's a little bit of math involved in that. And somebody, thankfully, who is brilliant with spreadsheet or Google, I can't think of the name of that. Anyway, put together a Google Doc spreadsheet of all of the ingredients, and then it had like the recipes, and we would just plug in the number of jars we wanted to make that recipe, and it would calculate out the total number of the ingredients that we needed, which was awesome. So, you know, we might end up with like 10 cups of carrots or whatever. And so once we had that list, then knowing how many people we had, we would divvy that up into a sign up. And if you're familiar with Sign Up Genius, that's a really great tool for that you can, you know, that's something I would do, is make a list of all the ingredients, say, okay, I want everybody who's making 6 jars, for instance, you're gonna bring this many ingredients. If you're gonna make twice as many jars, if you're making 12 jars, you're gonna bring double the amount of ingredients, so that it was all fair. So we were trying to split up everything evenly. That's something you'd want to think about, is, you know, how can we divvy up some of these ingredients? Some are obviously going to be more expensive, like avocados versus frozen corn, and so you would want to split up the avocado into more signups, so it's not all happening on one person to do that, or so different ways like that you can work it out. Okay, so then you've got your sign up. Everybody goes on there, and they're supposed to have exactly the number of signups that so everything's covered. And then of course you get together that night, everybody brings their ingredients, but you also make sure you bring your jars, which we definitely recommend the wide mouth jars. And we typically will do a quart size. I can pack in the salad. I love to eat salad, but some people aren't gonna want that much in one sitting in one meal. And so they might bring 2 pint-sized jars, and they can split up that amount into 2 pint-sized jars. Or you can take it home and share it with somebody. Or you could just do pint-sized salads as well. Okay, so those are some different options, but definitely the wide mouth we have found is a good thing. I also would tell everybody to bring their own, to bring measuring cups, because, okay, let me show you this. So the other thing with these salads is you can actually go online and you could find a bunch of salad jar recipes already, which is awesome. So I did find a bunch there. The other thing I've done, in fact, which I did with this Greek salad, was I just took a recipe that I had and loved, and I created a salad jar out of it. Okay, so we've come to find specific amounts of ingredients were fairly common. Like you do a 1/4 cup of like cucumber and bell pepper, and you know, if you're doing tomatoes and olives, we always did like 6 to 8 olives and tomatoes in each jar. So things like that you kind of figure out. If you're going to do red onion, you would just do a tablespoon of red onion, or 2 tablespoons if you're like that. So that's how much you're going to plan on in each jar. Another little tip, when you're doing the lettuce, which you're going to put your greens on top, you're going to want about, if you're going to do a quart size, we find about 1 to 2 cups, because that can be hard to to measure out, right? Exactly. And so through time, what we found was if we calculated on that spreadsheet that at least 1.5 cups of romaine for each jar, then we had plenty. Because before we kept running out of greens. Like, you'd be amazed at how many greens you can pack in a jar. And again, that's completely up to you how much if you really like a lot of lettuce in your salad, great, fill it up. If you don't want to put the lettuce in, if you just want to put that in when you're ready to eat your salad, you can do that too, which is actually a lot of times what I do, because I have all my greens growing right here in my tower garden, and I want to have them fresh. So I will just wait. When I'm ready to have my salad, I'll go pick them off and put them on the bottom, and then dump my salad jar on top, mix it up, and eat it. It's ready to go. I just love how quick they are. And I have to say too, they last. I don't know if you guys have done salad jars before. A lot of it has to do with the packing maybe, or some ingredients, but you would be amazed. I've had them go 7 to 10 days. In fact, I've had them go a little bit longer than that sometimes. So I love that. You can get a lot of meals prepped ahead and you're set for a while. Okay, so I was going to show you, we talked about the specific ingredients, right? And how much of each one. Okay, so my brilliant husband put together this beautiful jar diagram. I could go in and I could put in the number, like the name of the ingredient and how much we wanted. So what we would do is we display these when we're making that salad. We'll display them, you know, they're on the table next to us, and we can see exactly how much we need to be putting in. So it's like an assembly line. We assemble all of our ingredients. This is the order that we're putting them in. We typically start with the dressing on the bottom. I love to just put the dressing straight in. Some people like to put it in a little cup, and they'll put it inside, like on top or just to the side of the jar. I personally like the dressing in there because sometimes I like that it marinates what's in there and on the bottom. For instance, with these Greek salads, the red onion on the bottom, that's really good. So that would be my suggestion, but of course, it's your preference what you want to do. Some people don't want their ingredients soaking in that dressing. So then you're going to build the salad as you go down the line, and each person one right after another, to pack their jars. And once we've got it all laid out, it really goes pretty quick. We're able to get through packing our jars typically within an hour, and of course it depends how much you like to chit chat. When a bunch of women get together, that's usually what happens, right? A bunch of socializing, and it's super fun. We love it. So we might get a little bit distracted while we are packing our jars, but hey, that's one of the perks of it. So sometimes you just need to get away, right? And we'll typically do it like in the evening around 8 o'clock when kids are in bed and husbands are home, so the women can get away and play. I mean, work, prep our jars. Anyway, so any other tips? If you guys have any other questions about the salad jars and how to host an event, let me know. I'm happy to answer those. You can put them in the comments below. Oh, I was going to mention too, because I know sometimes it's just, you know, gathering the recipes to start with. I actually have a file that I put together because I continually was getting asked by people, hey, I want to start this in my own community. Can you share some recipes with me? And so I finally put together my top 15 favorite mason jar salad recipes with the dressings and everything, and I am happy to share that with you guys if you want that. It's a great place to start. They're tried and proven. Probably not everybody will love them. In fact, I was really shocked that not everybody in our group loves these Greek salads. Can you believe it? But not everybody's a fan of Greek salad. That's okay. Oh, the last thing I was going to mention too that we've started doing recently is everybody, the couple ingredients that we don't divvy up is meat and greens. Typically, we let people bring their own because, for instance, not everybody's going to want meat necessarily, right? Or some people want to add meat to salads that don't call for it. We have one that calls for steak. It's in those recipes in my top 10 or top 15 favorites. It's definitely my husband's favorite, probably because it has steak in it. It's a Thai steak noodle salad. Super good, but not everybody loves steak, right? So somebody could bring and put chicken in that instead if they wanted to. Or we all like to cook our meat a little bit different ways. Or maybe we want to do organic, right? Same with greens. Maybe we have some preferences that way. And so that's what we've determined is the best way is that those kinds of things, we bring our own, plus our ingredients that we're sharing, plus your mason jars, plus your measuring cups. And you're golden. You're good to go. Love it. It's super fun. I hope you guys will try it. In fact, I want you to tell us how it goes. And again, if you have any further questions on it, let me know.
So what's in this? Okay, so he's moving the ammo safe, full of ammo, cabbage, just like done it. So right before.
That was a real
Can we get this done?